Thank y'all for being here. Great atmosphere. Want to say that first. I thought fans were into it. It was loud, caused them some issues in the second and third quarter, and they were upset. And they're upset, and they should be. We haven't played well at home, and we'll have a losing record at home. Some of that's due to the people we're playing, and I'll credit Dave and his group in this game right here. I think they're talented. I think they're playing their best football right now. They were obviously fresh coming off the bye, and they outplayed us in the second half, and it's disappointing. But the game was there to win in the third, and early in the fourth, and we just didn't get it done. We've got a disappointed group downstairs, staff, players, and I told them I love them. That's unconditional, but we didn't play good enough. And what we haven't been able to do consistently this year is all three levels, all three groups play together at one time. Like a microcosm tonight. First half, offensively, we functioned at a really high level. Defense didn't play very well, and special teams, we didn't play very well. And then the second half comes around, much improved in special teams. The third quarter, we get 3 or 4 stops right there, and then offensively, we don't play well. And it comes down to executing on critical downs, and that's where we struggled. I'll talk about each phase. I thought offensively we did some really good things. The stats, look good. We were balanced, but we didn't get it done at winning time. And we had multiple, I think 2 4th downs there in the third quarter when the game was a 7-point game, and the game was a 7-point game for I think 3, maybe 4 possessions. I haven't seen a drive chart. But we just didn't do a good enough job on 3rd or 4th down, and so that's disappointing. Traylon's injury, it wasn't good. I mean, y'all can see it. We don't need to talk about it, but it wasn't good. And it not only hurt us because he was winning a lot, but it hurt us emotionally. We had some guys that really struggled with that because it was visible on the field what the injury was, and our skill group's really close, and that emotionally that was tough to overcome. And defensively, really the same issues that have plagued us all year showed up again tonight. We had struggled with the pass. They threw for 329 yards, and then 3rd and 4th down we couldn't get off the field. They're 9 of 13, and we didn't tackle very well, and we didn't tackle very good against Cincinnati either. But then we came and listen, credit. Cincinnati's running backs ran hard. These kids that they had at Baylor ran hard. 34 is big. He's not your normal receiver, and they really got after us physically on the perimeter. I thought that's where it really showed up. 34 broke tackles. They blocked us. We really struggled getting off blocks early in the first, and then late in that game we really struggled to get off blocks. And then special teams, our specialists struggled tonight. Ollie's had a great year, and he struggled. Couple punts that were really short that left us kind of backs against the wall, and then they had the long kickoff return where it wasn't a very good kick. We didn't have much hang time at all, so we've got to do better. We've been better. We just weren't very good there in the second quarter with our specialists either. So disappointing. And Greg, start with you.
So those second half opportunities for the offense,
Yeah.
I mean, you came up just short. Did it feel like it was the right play? Just didn't quite execute? What do you think?
Until I go back, Greg, like we got it down. The first one we had some really good plays to get us started there on the first drive. And then we got, I think we went for a no gain on a run, got into a 3rd and 10. That was going to be a 2-down deal. And then we had a snap infraction. And I've got to be careful what I say because I do not see that on the video, and that got us into a 3rd and 15, and then we didn't execute, and then we had a really bad punt. We had a chance to really tie him in down inside the 5, and he usually does that. I don't know if it was the next time or the time after that. That's when we get down there. That's when Traylon's injury happened, I believe. And we got a 4th and 2, and we just had an MA on a run through in the A gap. And not only we would have had a first down if Garrett he was a sprint out, and so if he could have continued on his move, we would not only had a first down, probably would have scored on that because we ran a play to the flat to Cole, and so, but we had a run through there that stopped that. We had another drop on a 4th down where Garrett had a really good play. We had a drop on a 4th down. And so some critical errors. Yeah, I'm sure that there, when I watch it, I'll say there's some better plays that we could have had too. But yeah, there was winning moments to be had in the third quarter, and we didn't get it done.
What do you think kept the pass rush from being able to get to the quarterback tonight?
Yeah, they did a good job. I mean, I think you got to credit them and some of the stuff. We didn't play well, but they've played extremely well in offense for 3 weeks, and they played well again. They were balanced. They ran it for over 180, threw it for over 300. Did a good job mixing up tempo. They got the ball on the perimeter for some easy completions in the pass game, and like I said, blocked really well. A lot of those balls were getting out really fast. I think we got some pressure. We got a sack there in the third quarter. We affected a couple passes later in the third quarter as well. But the ball was getting out, and they went 5 out a lot on us and got the ball out. And so a couple big balls in the first half where we just didn't play the ball very well, man. And that's been an issue. That's been an issue all year. And we've tried a bunch of different things, and we just have not played very well back there.
Yeah, just to get a certain season for Trey.
Good to see you back, man. Yep. Yeah, he won't be back this year. Yeah, he will not be back. It's bad. I mean, he'll recover. He'll be fine, but he won't play this year. And again, his mom was here, so I'm glad. And but those are tough moments, man. We had that with Trey Lathan last year, and for a 44-year-old, those are tough. And when you got 18, 19, and 20-year-olds out there, because they can see it. It's not like there's not a question of what happened. And but yeah, that was hard emotionally.
You mentioned obviously playing much better defense in the third quarter. What do you think the difference was?
Well, we tackled better, Keen. I think that was something. I thought our coverage was better. We contested more balls. Had a couple PBUs during that deal. But I think we tackled better.
What do you mean? Hudson back. How do you think he played?
He did well. I think he was cramping it in some point so we didn't get to play him as much in the second half as we wanted to. I think he's a really good player. He wins versus man coverage, and that's what they got to. They started matching us, and we struggled at times, but he was winning. Traylon and Hudson are our two best guys at doing that, and we were without them quite. Obviously for most of the second half without Traylon, then Hudson was cramping a good bit.
You have a long touchdown. Is a bit of different stuff on every one, run plays, pass plays, anything?
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a sign when you're not playing very well. And our numbers say that we haven't played very well. And so, on the long run there before half is we misfit it, and so one of our D linemen didn't get in the correct gap, and then our safety overran it, and so that's what happened on that one. On the vertical, we got the right coverage called. You shouldn't be able to throw that versus 3 deep, and that's what we were in. And so we didn't collision the slot receiver. I mean, we should have. But anyway, we should have had a free player that made a play right there, and we didn't. So those are the two big chunk plays that I can remember. And then on the screen to 34 in the first, I don't know if that was first quarter or early second quarter, I mean, we missed 2-point blank. I mean, that ball should have been down at the 2 yard. I mean, for a 2-yard gain, and I don't even know if we touched him.
On the screens and the perimeter plays, is it taking a bad angle, getting off blocks?
No, you got to get off blocks, and without me watching it, the ones on my sideline I can see. The ones on the other sideline are a little more difficult. But there's two things. First of all, you got to set an edge. So if you're going to come, all right, either as a corner or as your nickel or what we call a spear, they got to set the edge on the perimeter, and they got to turn it back. If you don't get off the block, you got to set the edge and bring it back to all your pursuit. And we were getting blocked, and we were doing neither. We weren't getting off the block or setting the edge and getting it back. And then one of them on the long one, nobody blocked us. We just missed the tackle.
What did you think of Garrett?
I think you look at his numbers. He ran for 150 yards. Took some sacks there when we had to get in throw it mode. I think he played kind of kind of how he's played. He competes his tail off. He gives people all kinds of – people do not like playing against him because he gets out of the pocket. He can run the ball. They have to defend the field horizontally and vertically. But the interception was a really bad decision. Like that ball should have never been thrown. He missed some underneath stuff because he got in a hurry. And so I love the kid because he competes. He's an explosive runner. And, he threw the ball well at times. Like the touchdown at the end of the game, you can't throw the ball any better than that. We had more drops tonight than we have. But then, he missed a couple short ones that would have got us either first downs or some third manageables, right? And so without me watching it and really critiquing his decision-making and, like, fundamentals and all that started for me. But I thought he gave us a chance because this was going to be, after you could tell midway through the first, this was going to be, you're going to have to outscore him. And he gave us a chance. We didn't quite throw the ball well enough in that third quarter when it was kind of winning time.
So Jaheim and CJ, 16-9 carries apiece. They were running a lot and getting carries in the first half. Any wish of giving them more carries, or was it just how the game unfolded, or how do you evaluate that?
So, a lot of what we're doing is read based, right? So, we do where we're reading a defender, and the defender, if he takes the quarterback or he takes the running back, and we were getting some handoffs to them early, and then we got in the third quarter they started playing that, and then we struggled. They started blitzing, and we struggled some in the run game there in the third quarter. Our running stats are good. Like if you look at them, we ran for 260 yards. That's a good day. They were one of the top rush defenses in the country coming in. But they switched up some of their blitz patterns in the third, really started blitzing us from the boundary, and they caught us in a couple of negative yardage plays.
Were you surprised that they onside kicked in that particular situation right before half?
Yeah, I mean, they've done some stuff like that. It helped us. We took advantage of it, but I didn't think I'd try to manage our game.
The way they played offense lately, and the way you guys have played defense for the season, does it change you as a play caller? Do you think it changes your defense, your offense, how they're playing on the field, just kind of? Yeah,
I don't know. You would hope not. You would hope not. But I think when you're having trouble stopping people, offenses put pressure on themselves. I'm not saying that's the right thing, but that's probably accurate. But we spent a lot of time, Mike, just talking about you got to control what you can control, and the defense has no control in the offense. Offense has no control in the defense. You got to play each play as a singular action. And we didn't do that. And the thing about it is, defensively, we got stops. Like we had opportunities. Like the defense provided the offense opportunities in the third quarter, and the offense, and we didn't take advantage of those opportunities. So, like this isn't a case where, hey, the defense played really poorly, the offense played good enough to win. Not really, because the offense had opportunities in the third quarter, and didn't take advantage of it. That ball game should have been tied on two different occasions, and then if it gets tied, what happens? I'm not sure. But we never made the play to get us over the hump to get the thing tied like we should have.
Trotter was out the first two series that were playing.
He didn't practice all week. Yeah, he didn't practice all week. He got cleared on Friday, and so he played. He played a lot of snaps. I don't know how many snaps he played, but that was the reason.
You mentioned what Traylon does for you guys, obviously it did for you guys in terms of getting open. Who's got to step up now moving forward?
Yeah, we need more production out of Justin. He made some good plays today, but he played better against Cincinnati. He's got to play at a higher level. I think that's the one that really has to step up. I hope we get Jaden Bray back this week. If we can get him back, that'll help.
Just the frustrations you mentioned about playing at home in the record and what next week's game means to you playing home last time this season.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Like that's even in, like last year, I think whatever we were, 5-1, 6-1, however we played, we lost one game at home. And so, yeah, it's frustrating. And I get the fans' frustration. I'm frustrated. Like, you got to be able to win at home. And for whatever reason, we've played better on the road. But we've got one more opportunity to fix it. And that's what's got to happen. We got to fix it. We've got a UCF team coming in here that's hungry to get their sixth win too. They're sitting there with bowl eligibility still out in sight. It'll be senior day for a big group of guys that we have, and we got to figure out a way to not only play better but to win. That's the goal, and our people here deserve to see wins.
Okay, thanks, Coach.